Over the years, school resumption, especially after the long vacations, had been fraught with so much lethargy and very low enthusiasm. This situation, occasioned by unsavory attitudes from the teachers, parents, and even the students, as well as pupils themselves, have led to very low start of academic activities at the commencement of each term or session. As a consequence, academic activities do not commence until well into the third week after resumption of school.
Hello and welcome to the program Insight Education, a TV program designed to enlighten the general public on the policies, activities and progress of the Delta Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education in its bid to provide a quality education for the good children of the state. It promises to be an interesting one. My name is Rita Ubuaja. This program will offer insights into the activities of the ministry so that you can appreciate what the present government is putting in place to ensure we have a solid foundation of education in the state. Insight Education will play host to current news happening in the ministry. It will also hold developmental strides as well as hold discussions with pupils, students, their parents as well, teachers and other stakeholders in the state. On today's episode, we'll be taking you through the various schools who have connected to the concept Back to School initiated by the Honorable Commissioner of Basic and Secondary Education, Honorable Patrick Uka. And not just that, we shall be talking to the individuals and communities who have partnered with the state government to ensure Back to School concept is successful. Stay with us.
As a means of arresting this trend, which had tended to erode standards on all parameters of teaching and learning, the State Ministry of Education, under the watch of Chief Patrick Uka as Commissioner, has evolved the Back to School policy. As enunciated, Back to School is a deliberate policy meant to immediately and fully engage the students, teachers and parents from the first day of school resumption. To that effect, a circular encapsulating government vision and new approach to school resumption and signed by the Honorable Commissioner were sent to all stakeholders in the primary and secondary education in the state. The Special Assistant to Honorable Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Mr. Felix Ide, expatiates on the Back to School policy.
The Back to School program is based on research and observation that students after long vacation, it takes them a minimum of 3-4 weeks to return back to full academics. And the program we have itemized to bring them back to school is to facilitate students settling down and to learning in school. For example, before they resumed, we have cleared all the schools, fumigate them, and get the school and classroom ready for study. And we are following that up with a test to put the students in a state of readiness to learn. So they have done a test, which is part of the continuous assessment. And now we are in the mentoring phase of the Back to School program, which will be on for the next 1 month. Now, the development of curriculum education and extracurriculum activities is very key to the overall development of the child. And therefore, this mentoring is people, role models in society, retired principals, going to talk to them to reorientate the mind of the students. We have a lot of problems in schools, cultism, riots, some violent behaviors, which we want to curb. So by this role model is going to speak to them, there's a new change of behavior. You know, it takes time for people to change. And we hope that by this mentoring program, They will avoid cultism, they will avoid riotous behavior and violent acts in school. And there will be a change in the behavior of our students. We'll do it for the next 4 weeks. People will be going, role models will be going to schools to speak to them, to talk to them. And after that, the students are encouraged to join at least 2 clubs or societies in the school for their moral upbringing. We encourage those who are science inclined to join the JET club. We encourage those who like to do literary and debating society to build confidence in the students. We also have neither they join the Red Cross or the Boys or Girls Brigade. Now these are organizations and clubs for the moral upbringing of the students, where they can learn things. And then in some schools, we're encouraging them to have the Young Farmers Club, so that people can learn about agriculture. And in the Jazz Club, we encourage them to do entrepreneurship. People leaving school should have some basic skills that they can use, when they leave school. Those are all-round education of the child, which is the new orientation we are doing. I think from the response of people, the communities where these schools are cited, from the response of the students and the teachers, I think it's a welcome idea. People are embracing it. They find it that it makes the students to settle down quickly to studies. Also, the students marshals who are going around in towns where they exist to ensure that students go to school on time. Because you find that at about 11 o'clock, you see students hanging around in the streets. So there are marshals who are now making them to drive them to school to make sure that they resume early at school. So it's part of reorientation of the students, part of changing the old order of what people do. In those days, people stay 1 month as our school have resumed. 1 month, school has not taken off effectively. Now, within the last 1 week, school reopened. You can find that school is bubbling with activities. Academic work is making progress. Teachers are at school. Students are reporting early to school, and we found that academic work has started up in earnest.
Indeed, steps were taken by the officials of the ministry as well as other stakeholders to ensure the implementation of one of the crucial aspects of the back-to-school policy. Schools were visited to witness the practical clearing and cleaning of the school premises to make for smooth takeoff of schools upon resumption. Also, mentoring and monitoring activities were embarked upon by the ministry officials and opinion leaders to put both students and their teachers in the right frame of mind towards school resumption. In that regard, the Honorable Commissioner himself was at the Government Model Secondary School, Asaba.
I came here this morning to welcome you back to school, to encourage you, to tell you to hold on to God strongly, take strongly to your studies, make sure that you live the life of the new Delta that Senator Dr. Fayoko has brought for us. And when you read the lines in our anthem, you will know who you are. You are wonderfully made. You are what? Wonderfully made. Don't disappoint God and don't disappoint us. Tell your parents you don't want to be late to school. And all you owe your parents after making it possible for you to be here, because there are so many children here in Delta and in Nigeria and in the world who do not have the opportunity to come to school. Do you want to blow your own? Do you want to blow your chance? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to blow your chance?
No.
These are SS3 students, right? You see? The next thing now you are in university. And there's nobody coming to guide you. If you like, you go to lecture. If you like, don't go. But it's how you take what they are telling you here that can make you survive in life. Listen, if you want to be a footballer, Because of time, I'm not going to waste time much. If you want to be a footballer, before you go to the class today, you will line up somewhere else and she will take your name. You will start your training. Listen now, it is now compulsory that every child must belong to at least 2 clubs. The club that I mean is that I hear that you have dramatic society in your school. How many of you like Nollywood? Good. That is an opportunity for you to join the dramatic society. How many of you can talk very well? You also have debating society. Are you hearing me? You also have debating society.
Sir OK Ofili, a former head of service of the Delta State Civil Service, was at Isioma Onyobi School.
The essence of my visit is the furtherance of the program initiated by the Honorable Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, which he tagged a Back to School program. There are several facets of that program, and one of the aspects of the program is to come and give a motivational talk to the students of the school to enable them appreciate the essence of why they are here and the paths they need to tread to become responsible men and women of our society and good society.
If you want to learn mathematics, tell yourself you can do it. If you want to be a lawyer, tell yourself I can do it. If you want to be a doctor, tell yourself I can do it. And let that your I can do spirit continue to propel you. Avoid cultism. Embrace hard work. Avoid drug abuse. Respect your parents. Respect your teachers. Come to school regularly. Do not deceive yourself. Don't prepare and leave your house that you are coming to school and you divert to elsewhere. Avoid bad company.
The message I have for them is that they must take their studies seriously, get their priorities right, and strive to become the future leaders of tomorrow, which we believe is what their lot should be. And they cannot attain this goal if they do not take their studies seriously, if they are not disciplined, if they are not well cultured, and if they don't have the necessary prerequisites that will enable them to take over the mantle of leadership in our country.
A motivational speaker, Mr. Promise Okbedo, visited the Ozigwe Primary School and effectively interacted with the pupils.
I failed out of demonstration technical again. I went then to Benin City, where I had to repeat the same class that I failed out of here. But do you know what? Something strange happened to me along the way. I met a serving youth corps member who told me that I can be anything I set my mind to become. I'm very happy that I met so many of you here who say you want to be engineers, you want to be doctors, you want to be lawyers. I even met a pilot. Where is he? Yes. A pilot around here. Very good. But do you know what I wanted to become? I wanted to become a teacher. I wanted to become a speaker. I wanted to go to places and talk to people and empower people through the powers of their mind. I'm only here to tell you you can be anything if only you can think it. Proverbs 23 verse 7. As a man thinketh, so is he. You can be anything you put your mind to become. I want you to say, I am a champion. I am a champion. I am a champion. If I ask you this question, are you a dog person? What will you say? No. No, I'm not. Why? Because I am a champion. Because I am a champion. Are you an ugly person? No. Why? Because I am a champion. Are you a bad student? No. Why? out for yourselves.
Justice Mrs. Ngozi Azinge was at the Zappa Basic Secondary School for the same purpose.
The title of my talk this morning is Education is the Key to the Future. I'm sure you all love to be educated children. Yes. That is why you are all in school. And to be educated is not just to read your books and pass the exams. There are other things that you need to do to be a well-educated child, like discipline. For instance, you are supposed to resume in school. Assembly is 8 o'clock or 7:45. But I can see some of you running to the assembly, even when they have finished the prayer and all the procedure for the assembly. That is called indiscipline. And then you know, I'm sure you have heard about Yahoo Yahoo. Yes. Very bad. It's a very bad vice. And from Yahoo Yahoo they go to ritualism. There was this story of a boy. We saw it in the social media. They asked him to bring his mother for sacrifice. And
Besides, there was the conduct of refresher continuous assessment test on students to immediately commit their minds to academic activities upon resumption. It is the idea of the ministry that this refresher test should be part of the students' continuous academic assessment.
If you have missed this, you must be an exceptional child to now read and struggle to make sure you regain that point that you're going to miss. We have had to reduce the cutoff mark to 40. So if now you are losing a percentage, then you know you have to work harder. There's nobody that will do it for you. But it's left to the teachers for them to just go back and start giving mark to people who are not in school. Somehow we find out. Like I told some of them, I don't like doing sting operations on my friends and my relations. And they are all my friends, my sisters, like you can see. I've seen some of them that I even knew growing up. But I'm beginning to discover them. So if they have to lie, that's not how we came up. So I don't expect that any of them will lie. They promise they will not lie. That punishment of losing that mark, they must lose it.
Welcome back. I'm sure you enjoyed it. This is to say that the Honorable Commissioner is bent on strengthening the public schools in the state. Indeed, this is a plus to the ministry in ensuring that the pupils and students have a quality education in a very comfortable environment. So, join the Honorable Commissioner, the state government, and His Excellency Governor Arthur Ifeanyi Okowa in ensuring we create a stronger Delta that you and I can be proud of. For your comments, suggestions and contributions on how we can create a better education for our children and a stronger Delta, please use the social medias displayed on your screen. It is on this note a wrap-up for the program. On behalf of the producer and the production crew, thank you for staying with us. My name is Rita Ubuaja. Until next week, bye for now.